The sole purpose of this video is to provide a basic overview and orientation of your new apparatus. This video is not intended to act as or replace individualized driver-operator training. Individual fire departments may base guidelines, policies, and procedures tailored for best practices. Pierce Manufacturing and Hughes Fire Equipment representatives are not liable for injuries caused from acts resulting from actions inconsistent with the information provided within this video and/or accompanying manuals. Refer to the Operation and Maintenance Manual for complete details relating to the components and features of this apparatus. Only trained personnel should operate this vehicle or perform maintenance. You are responsible for learning how to operate this fire apparatus under all conditions without having to refer to the manual while operating at an emergency incident. This video will discuss types of warnings and caution labels. It is your responsibility to locate and identify each of the labels and understand the importance and associated hazards. Warning labels will point out procedure that must be taken or action that must be avoided to guard against the possibility of serious injury or death. Caution labels will advise you that there is a risk of damage to property if certain precautions are not followed. Continuous training, reviewing of operation and service manuals, developing good standardized practices will assist driver operators with a more complete understanding of the components and operation of this fire apparatus. As the driver operator of this vehicle, you are responsible for understanding the function of each component of the apparatus, maintaining control of the fire apparatus at all times while in operation. Make operational and functional changes while operating at an emergency without having to read operator's instructions or safety warning labels. Operate manual override and emergency shutdown procedures immediately if a component fails to operate properly. Components location may vary with each Pierce fire apparatus. Review the exact location of each component prior to operation. Major inconsistencies between your vehicle and the information contained in this video should be directed to your sales representative. Safe operation of any vehicle is the responsibility of the driver operator. You must learn the location and function of all controls, switches, gauges, valves, inlets, and discharges. Due to a higher center of gravity, heavy trucks have a significantly higher rollover tendency than other types of vehicles. To reduce the risk of rollover, avoid making sharp turns, excessive speed, and avoid abrupt maneuvers. In the event of a rollover crash, an unbelted person is significantly more likely to become injured or die than a person wearing a seatbelt. In the event of a crash, unbuckled occupants can also become a hazard to other occupants, as they may be thrown around inside the cab. Seatbelts are required while in operation. Please refer to your warranty certificates for details and information enclosed in your manuals. Customer-installed equipment must be mounted to withstand road travel and comply with NFPA 1901. Modifications such as drilling holes or welding to structural frame components of the chassis are not permitted. Contact Pierce for instruction and review of non-structural sheet metal or other dissimilar metals for modification. Follow the radio installation guide for further assistance on installing or mounting electronics. Before placing your new apparatus into service, perform a primary inspection of key components of the apparatus, including all fluid levels, anti-lock braking systems, electronic stability control, and automatic traction control. Weigh your apparatus to ensure that it conforms to axle and brake ratings. Never exceed the gross axle rating printed on the label inside the cab. Exceeding these ratings could lead to reduced component life, personal injury, or death. Review the use of auxiliary braking systems, compression brake, exhaust brake, electronic retarder, and hydraulic retarder. Before placing the apparatus in service, refer to the operational maintenance manuals. Information on the operation and maintenance functions for the components such as the pump, pressure governor, and foam systems, along with other options, is provided in either the Pierce manuals and/or other manufacturer support information delivered with the apparatus. If you need more information, please contact Hughes Fire Equipment. Congratulations, Central Emergency Services, Alaska, on your new Pierce fire apparatus, job number 42714. Please utilize this 5-digit job number when referencing your apparatus with Hughes Fire Equipment and Pierce Manufacturing. We'll get started on a brief orientation of your new apparatus. Just a quick look here at the front of the apparatus. We'll start at the very top with your forward-facing scene light located on the brow. There are 5 identification clearance lights located across the very top section forward of the brow area, and up on top of the roof you'll find your emergency warning light bar. Let's move down to the front hood area. This is the handhold location for tilting the hood. There are 2 emergency warning lights within the grille. Located in the very bottom section, you'll find your bumper. Located with inside that bumper on the angled edge on the driver's side is your electronic siren and PA speaker. Let's move up to the front section where you'll find an intersection emergency warning light side facing on the front hood area, headlight structure housing low and high beam headlights, marker turn indicator. You'll also find air horn located on the driver's side fender and also the air inlet. On top of the fender, you'll find a marker turn indicator light. As you move to the wheel, you'll find Alcoa wheel. Moving on now to the A-pillar, where you'll find your flat and convex mirror. Moving on to the door, you'll find your grab handle, easily accessible with a gloved hand. It is also keyed, and also a grab handle located on the rear portion of the cab for entering and exiting the cab for maintaining 3 points of contact. Certified clean idle certification. Ultra low sulfur diesel fill location. It is the silver cap, and right next to it is where you'll find your DEF blue cap fill location. Just a reminder to use ultra low sulfur diesel. Then as we move to the DEF location, you'll find that in the blue cap with a caution indicator here. Moving now into the cab area. Let's start first, affixed door panel, safety and warning placard information, door lock and latch, window control on the top section of the door panel, and also mirror control. As we move to the cab section entering, you'll find grab handles at the right and left side. As we move inside, you'll find on the floor level at the base of the seat your master battery switch. You'll also find an air ride seat with control front to back. You'll find this yellow placard just to the right of that location housing the date of manufacture, 5-digit job number, gross vehicle weight rating, cold tire inflation, VIN number, all of the components and fluid types for your vehicle. Let's move now just up to the very top center section here on the driver's space, where you'll find this yellow placard indicating the height of the vehicle, 9 feet 9 inches, length 30 feet 1 inch, gross vehicle weight rating 54,600 pounds. Headlight control on the upper left-hand section of the dash, and then as we move to the dash outer edge, you'll find vents, and then also for your heating and air conditioning. As we move toward the left lower section of the dash, this is where you'll find the key insert for your keyed ignition. Also, you'll find windshield wiper control and light control left side of the column, along with controls on the steering wheel itself. As we move to the center cluster, you'll find your tachometer, speedometer, oil, fuel, volts, DEF, and oil pressure. To the right side, you'll find your shift knob, and then also as we move further to the right, general view here of the dash area to the right side. This is the location where you'll find your vehicle data recorder port. You'll also find your vehicle's equipped with airbags, and also your USB and power outlet barrel style. Moving to the right of the driving steering wheel, you'll find your pull to apply your system parking brake and push to release. It's the yellow diamond, along with tally lights indicating pump engaged, OK to pump and roll, and also tank rack down. Four-way flashers, headlights, PTO, and then also all of your switches here regarding the upper right-hand section here for regen, and then also your interaxle locks. As we move to the lower switch panel, you'll find red indicating someone is in the seat and not belted, green they're in the seat and belted, along with additional tally lights, red and also green indicators on the right-hand side of the dash. Climate control for heat, air conditioning, and defrost located in the front center section. And as we move to the center section between the officer and driver, you'll find your console. It does have storage location for resources and then also 12-volt access. Overhead, we have our emergency and scene light switches. They are located over the driver's space. Moving just to the right of this location, you'll find your PA and siren control module. That's toward the center of the vehicle. As we move now to the exterior, we'll start with the pump panel area first, starting in the very top section with your crosslay and master stream device. As we look to the two crosslays, there are two crosslays located here, front and, well, I should say 1 and 2. General view here of the pump panel. We'll start in the upper left-hand corner with your master gauge. This is the pump discharge gauge and is the upper left-hand corner. Just underneath that, you'll find the master pump intake gauge down in the lower section. Also to the right, you'll find switch panels and also water pump heater and scene light control. As we move further down, you'll find your water tank level module here in the blue section. Just underneath that, you'll find the vacuum and pressure test gauge ports. They're currently plugged and are utilized for testing purposes. To the right, you'll find an OK to pump indicator. And then further to the right, you'll find your FRC pressure throttle governor. Please see the owner's manual for its operation. Also, your vehicle is equipped with a gauge heater. It is automatic. It's indicating when it is on or if it is in fault mode. Also, you have an external air horn here. It's the red push button, along with your minimum operation maintenance schedule for test pressures at 150, 200, and 250 psi. We'll move further down on the pump panel. This is the push button for your air horn. It is a protected switch also. Further down, for the rest of your gauges down at the very bottom section and levers, we'll go over those next, starting on the far left with the crosslay number 1 and crosslay number 2. Moving to the right, you'll find your deluge discharge and also driver's side 1 discharge. Moving further to the right, you'll find your large diameter passenger side discharge and then passenger side number 2 discharge, tank fill and recirculating line, and then also in the very bottom section, an engine cooler. As we move down, some warning placards here indicating pressure hazard. Caps may be under pressure. Be cautious when opening them. Also your tank to pump. In the upper left-hand corner, we have some additional warning placards here regarding entanglement hazard. That's because of the lines coming from the loft in the crosslay area. Also your fire pump primer push to prime air is located here. Best practices, at least 1,000 RPMs. Minimum operation maintenance schedule, which we covered previously for test pressures at 150, 200, and 250. We do have a external 2.5-inch auxiliary inlet, locally controlled via the ball valve. That's the driver's side auxiliary inlet. Moving further to the right, manifold drain and driver's side 1 discharge drains. Moving further to the right, warning placard, only trained personnel should operate this piece of equipment. That's only after proper training. As we move down, you'll find your shoreline inlet. It is a 20 amp auto eject. It's the yellow cover. To the right, an air inlet. And then just below that, you'll find your main pump drain. As we move just under the tailboard area, we have an enclosed pump for freezing conditions. As we move now onto the body section, we'll cover those items next. Let's start at the very top forward section where you'll find an LED water tank level indicator, and then right next to that you'll find a side-facing scene light. As we move further down into the compartment space, we have LED lighting, the capability for adjustable shelving. In the lower section, in the very bottom, we have a pull-out tray, the release located on the lower right. On the rear back wall, when plugged into Shoreline Power, this is your battery charger, will maintain battery status. Moving down, this is the release for that floor-mounted tray and an adjustable shelf. As we move to the center compartment, we have an adjustable shelf in the center. To the forward axle, we have a indicator light here and turn indicator marker. Moving now to the rear axle, we will find a tandem axle, Alcoa wheel, and Michelin tires. In between the two of those, space here for storage, 2 SCBA bottles with retaining straps. Moving to the rear upper portion, we have a side-facing scene, emergency warning light, and a DOT ID clearance light. In the upper section, once again, LED lighting in the compartment and an adjustable shelf. As we move to the rear of the axle, M9 warning light. And then into the rear portion, this is a side dump access location. Let's take a quick look at the rear portion of the apparatus. We'll start first with the upper corner, where you'll find an emergency warning light at the top outside edge of the ladder access area. Also some additional warning placards here. This is a fall injury, never ride on the vehicle while it's in motion. This is warning here regarding when climbing on or off the vehicle, always please face the vehicle. And down at the very bottom, a warning regarding entanglement hazard. Because those lines coming from aloft, there's a possibility of entanglement. On the exterior, just above the brake late turn, we have additional storage location. This is for your drafting tube, rigid storage. As we move just below, you'll find a work light, emergency warning light, brake, turn, and reverse light cluster. You'll also find your driver's side dump valve, hose bed lights located in this cluster of here, in this 3, and then also the rear scene lights in this cluster of 3 switches. License plate holder and light. Let's move just to the right of this location. This is a plug located in the lower section of the tank. As we move further down in the very bottom, just above the running board, you'll find 2 attachment points. These are tow hooks. At the very top section, you'll find a rear-facing scene light. And then directly in the center section, you're going to find your backup camera with a protective cover, and then also some emergency warning lights in the upper top section. As we move to the very far right, you'll find an LED water tank level indicator. This is at the rear of the apparatus. This is the rear dump valve. We have a direct tank fill, 2.5 inch, locally controlled via the ball valve, female inlet, and then also passenger side dump valve. This is an LED light here illuminating the rear running board area, and then the same configuration, we have a work light, emergency, brake, turn, and reverse light cluster. As we move to the passenger side, this is the side that houses your folding water storage tank. At the very top, we have an LED emergency warning light and a side-facing scene light. This is the storage holder for that folding porta tank. Down in the lower section, this is the opening section for your side-facing dump valve. Once again, Michelin tires, Alcoa wheel at the rear. In the center, in between the two of those, lifted turn latch gains you access into your SCBA bottle storage location for 2 bottles with retaining straps. As we move to the forward upper section, side-facing scene light, LED water tank level indicator. Once again, you can see the side portion of the folded tank area that folds down. Forward section into the compartment, adjustable shelving capability, and LED lights in the lower section. I'd also like to point out your exhaust. Extremely hot diesel exhaust temperatures do exist, especially during regen operation. Be cautious where you park your vehicle. As we move to the mid section here, let's start at the very top with the 2 crosslays, and then also a step location here. Moving just down from that location, you have a lift and turn latch, which again you access into the passenger side pump area, along with some warning placards here. First warning, entanglement hazard because of the cross lays coming from above. Also a danger here regarding the movie equipment. This is because of the powered equipment rack. There are instructions for its operation for raise and lower. There is a master on and off and a lift or down. To the opposite side, you'll find a warning here regarding fall hazard. When climbing on or off the vehicle, please face the vehicle. Your large diameter passenger side discharge. And then also warning here regarding pressure hazard. Once again, caps may be under pressure. Be cautious when opening them. A 2.5 inch discharge on the passenger side. As we move further down, this is the large diameter passenger side inlet. Further down, we have an access panel located here for gaining access into the lower portion of the panel. Additional drains located across the very bottom section for all of our discharges. Primer drain and also color-coded on the lower section drains. Once again, your pump house is enclosed. As we move now onto the cab section next. Let's start first with the A-pillar flat and convex mirror. As we move to the door area, easily accessible with a gloved hand. This is the door lock and latch combination and a grab handle. It is a keyed access. As we move to the door panel, you'll find grab handle. You'll also find all of our warning placard information here, door lock and latch combination, and window control. As we move to the lower section, this is the door handle release, grab handle, and then we'll go ahead and move inside the cab area next. Starting first with your warning placard information. These are affixed to the door panel. As we move into the inside officer space, I'd like to point out a few items within this space first, starting at the floor level where you'll find an air horn foot pedal. As we move up to the A-pillar, you'll find a grab handle. Just under the step area, you'll find this is the cab section, lighting up the cab step lights on the passenger side. You'll also find at the forward section of the cab, these are the release for the hood. There's one on the passenger and driver side, along with a secondary horn on the passenger side. This is an air horn. At the very top of the fender, you'll find a marker turn indicator light. Moving forward to this location, Alcoa wheel, Michelin tire. Moving back up to the upper portion here where you'll find a side-facing emergency warning light, part of the intersection lower zone. Headlight structure housing low and high beam headlight, and a turn indicator. As we move back to a general view of the apparatus, congratulations, Central Emergency Services, CES Alaska, on your new Pierce fire apparatus, job number 42714. If you have any questions regarding your vehicle, please contact your Hughes Fire sales representative. Thank you and congratulations.